Good afternoon, everybody. It's okay if we give you a speech in English now? Okay, great. So my name is Karsten Boss. I'm from the USA. I'm from the United States of America, and I'm currently working here in Udine for a company called Freud. Do any of you know Freud? We're going to tell you about Freud now. So Freud is a part of a German company called Bosch, and Bosch is an international company, a very large company. They do a worldwide sales of about 70 billion euros. A lot of that's in the automotive industry, but they also have subsidiaries and small companies in countries like Italy, right here in Friuli, in fact. So, about Bosch. We have 60,000 research and development associates just in the world. So we have, let's say, 300,000 people working for Bosch in factories and finance and engineering, but just research and development. So Bosch really wants to give this message to you and let you know that they are very dedicated to the research and development within the world of new products and innovative products. So really international, leading, and in the last 5 years alone, what's the number there? 25 billion euros have been invested. So you can imagine 70 billion euros of sales in a year, huge. 25 billion euros a year just invested in research and development. So these are exciting jobs for designers, for technicians, for engineers. Products all around the world. I mean, battery technology, circular saw blade technology like we do here, automotive technology, these self-driving cars. I mean, we're right there next to companies like Tesla. So we are a very big company, but let's say we're a little bit in the background. So yeah, that's us. Research and development is a huge thing for Bosch. 375,000 associates, as I mentioned. And we have 4 business areas. Let's say we have the automotive business area, then we have the consumer goods business area, which includes power tools, which is what Freud is doing. We also have industrial technologies. We're involved in energy. We're windmills, let's say the gears for windmills. And really, all the countries of the world. 150 countries we do sales. I don't think there's very many more. So, you know, we have offices that are producing and developing and designing in about 60 countries. 150 countries, we actually have sales offices, our products are sold, and I believe there's maybe a dozen more countries that are still missing. And I'm confident that Bosch will get there over the next couple of years. Again, the mobility solutions, that's automotive. Self-driving cars, let's say, that's really the future of automotive. Industrial technology, that's, you know, your air conditioning systems, this and that. And then consumer goods, which we'd like to talk about with you today, the Freud products, the power tool products. As mentioned, 70 billion euros, first time. I'll tell you, the company's very proud of that. One other thing I'd like to tell you is that Bosch is a very, very special company. We are not a publicly traded company. We don't have stocks. You will not find us on the stock market. We have a family that owns us, and we have a foundation that owns us. So if you're working for Bosch, a 70 billion euro company a year, I think I said 300, 400,000 associates, we're non-for-profit. It's like a volunteer organization in a sense. The money that Bosch makes, first, of course, the profit goes into the business. We are a business. So most of the money goes back into the business, into the research and development, as I mentioned, to invest, to grow, to be really offering these new products to the world market. After that, though, the profits don't go into these big bonus checks. They don't go into these big shareholder dividends. They go into things like the Robert Bosch Hospital in Stuttgart, Germany. They go into things like a school foundation in any of the countries where we work. In Italy, they have the local Bosch headquarters in Milano, for example. They take care that within Italy, Bosch Italy is reinvesting into the social efforts of the country. So in every country of the world, Bosch is investing in the good social benefits of the world. And I'll tell you, as an employee of Bosch for 16 years? 16 years in about a week. I'll have 16 years at Bosch, and that's really one of the things that we're most proud of. We're really proud to work for a company that gives back to the community, that gives back to the world, that's leading innovation and also investing that people have a good quality of life even outside of the business. So again, this big sales value, 70 billion, and the profits are really used for great things in the world. Bosch Italy started in 1993, sales office, built some factories. They have factories, a big one in Bari, they have several in northern Italy, in central Italy, and in 7 years ago now, right? How long are we? 7 years ago, they bought the company right here in Friuli. So they've even invested into Friuli with the acquisition of Freud. Freud, what is Freud? It's a psychologist, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Nothing to do with Zygmunt. So Freud stands for Frese Udinese. So first Italian word of the presentation. Frese Udinese. It's very easy. Frese because they're making these cutter heads. You know, a lot of woodworking in the region. Friuli is historically the chair capital of the world. I drive around the region, I see big chairs, you know, and this is how it started. So these big chairs, these cutters, also for window tooling. So really, the company started to support the woodworking activities that were happening in the region, really a local for local kind of company. Udinese in the 60s, yeah, there it is. Oh, look at that chair. Yeah. You've all seen it, right? Every time I have visitors, I'll tell you, I take a drive to Colia with them and drive around that, and they're just like, wow, that's a big chair. I Googled it, and it really is the biggest chair in the world. I'm sure of it. But yeah, really, that is it, the Manzano, supporting the region. It was founded by a family by the name of Pozzo, which you may or may not know. They are a rather relevant family in the area, also for different business activities. 1960s they started. In the 1970s, by 1979, they entered into the US market. So you can think the foundation was really supporting the local woodworking factories in Italy, and once that got established, after 15, 20 years, they started already internationalizing. In the 80s, they started making carbide tips. So let's say they were a fabrication, meaning they had a lot of machines stamping steel, cutting steel, grinding the steel, brazing parts onto the steel, and then they started making these little tips out of carbide, which is really a specialty type of process. Been doing that for 20 years and are really among the world leaders of making carbide tips, hard metal carbide. They grew, so they started in Filetto, Tavagnacco, Udine. Right now there's 4 locations, and they built what is currently really the largest circular saw blade factory in the world, according to me. I don't know, I haven't visited them all, but I promise you it's the largest, biggest, and definitely the best in the world, just 20 minutes from here in Fagagna. So in the city of Fagagna, we have a factory already since 2000, so a very long time, and there we are building millions and millions of circular saw blades for the US market, for the Italian market, the European market, let's say the whole world. We really dominate the world there. Brands in North America, you've all heard of Obi or Leroy Merlin. You've seen them here in the area. In the US, we have the Home Depot, which maybe it's the benchmark, maybe it's the best, but it is definitely one of the biggest in the world that sells all the products for homes. And it's very proud for Udine, for Freud, our company, that we are a big supplier to them of circular saw blades. That's called the Diablo. Diablo, it's not the Italian word, but it's close. It's the Spanish word. And as you may know, in the U.S., the market, it's the second language is Spanish. So in the U.S., in the woodworking area, in the construction industry, first language English, second language Spanish. Diablo was a perfect marketing pitch. It worked. Everybody knows what a Diablo is. It's a red devil. And it worked. It caught on. And let's say since 2000, I can't tell you. Attilio, can we tell them how many blades we make a year? How many do we make a year? 12 million. 12 million. Yeah, more. And that's just out of Italy. So great company, growing company, and then they found a great fit. Business needs change. What people want changes. Bosch is always a growing company since years in the power tool industry, and Freyud from the Pozzo family and Bosch got to know each other, and they made a great deal. And Freyud is now a part of Bosch since 2009. It's been acquired, and it's been fully successfully integrated. It really is one of the biggest acquisitional success stories at Bosch. It's a growing company, 10-20% a year. It's profitable. It's worldwide. I mean, we have sales around the world. We have European manufacturing. It's a great, great success story for this company at Bosch and Freud together. Now talking again about Friuli. We are located, as mentioned, in Udine since the 60s. And they grew, and I promise they're going to grow more. So you will hear about Freyud as long as you're in the region. It's going to be a growing company that will always be in the news with positive stories. Fagania, circular saw blades. How many square meters is Fagania? It's 20,000. Yeah, I mean, it's many football fields. It's many football fields big. It's like a giant U shape, like a let's say a horseshoe. And there's material coming in from our suppliers. Steel is coming in one side. Oops. Oh, what happened? Sorry about that. Are we back? There we go. Just a second. Technical defect. Is that it? Yeah. You see the U shape of Fagania, and there's the material coming in every day. I mean, trucks are coming in. We don't have a warehouse. I mean, we ship straight to the US every day, every week. There are trucks full of hundreds of thousands of these red circular saw blades going to the United States of America, delivered to the Home Depot, one of the largest companies in the USA, and being delivered into thousands and thousands and thousands of households and businesses in the United States. So circular saw blades, Fagania, that is a world leader. Definitely right here, Freyud and Bosch together in Udine. We have another location in Colorado, not so far from Fagania. In Colorado, we make router bits. You see the picture there. The router bits are more for cutting edges. Let's say if you want to trim the edges of your woodworking, of your furniture, it's more a specialized tool. These as well, we sell a lot of them to the US and to the rest of the world. A very excellent product. Martignaco, as mentioned, in 1980, we started making our own carbide, so we really became vertically integrated, which is very important for companies. I mean, the more vertical integration you have, the more profits you have in your own hand, and the more control of an excellent quality that you have in your own hand. So in Martignaco, since the 80s, have been making, buying the raw powder, basically, from the companies in Europe and Asia, and producing these specialized tips. And then in Filetto, which is just up the street, we have the headquarters, a local headquarters. I mean, we have a lot of technical jobs here. We also have sales jobs. We also have commercial jobs, sales, marketing, human resources, everything you need. And there we also have a sales office that is doing the worldwide sales of our high-end industrial blades. As well, there we're making the original part from Freyud, which is these cutter heads for this Italian woodworking industry that has also grown into a worldwide business, really cutting the frames of the windows and of the doors. So this is the 4 locations. All of them are growing and profitable and healthy and really doing great innovations for the world. That, in a sense, is what Freyud is, as well what Bosch is. I would firstly thank you for your attention and ask if you have any questions about our company. Please feel free. We have several representatives from Freyud and Bosch here standing along the wall, Francesco, Attilio, and Lucia, as well as myself, Karsten. So we thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask us now or let us know after. And we hope to have given you a good impression of the company we're very proud of. Thank you.